My name's Natasha, and today we're going to learn how to plan, structure, and write a high-scoring IELTS Writing Task 2 essay together. Today we'll look at how to analyze an advantages-disadvantages essay prompt, apply the E2 superstructure to our essay, plan an advantages-disadvantages essay, and write a high-scoring essay together. It's important to note on test day that you may not receive an advantages-disadvantages essay prompt. As we write our essay, it's important to keep the scoring criteria in mind. Let's get familiar with it. Task response covers if you can address the prompt appropriately, fully develop a clear position, present relevant, fully extended, and well-supported ideas. A good score in coherence and cohesion means that the assessor can follow your message effortlessly and that your paragraphing flows well. Lexical resource refers to your vocabulary, how accurately you use it, your range, as well as any spelling errors. And finally, grammatical range and accuracy covers your ability to use a wide variety of sentence structures with appropriate punctuation and grammar. In IELTS Writing Task 2, you need to write a 250-word essay in 40 minutes. For more information on IELTS writing methods and proven strategies for both Task 1 and Task 2, head to e2language.com and sign up for an E2 IELTS test prep course. Here is our 4-step method. Step 1, analyze the essay prompt. Step 2, know the E2 superstructure. Step 3, plan your essay. Step 4, write and check. Let's look at these in a bit more detail now. The first step of our method is to analyze the essay prompt. As you're reading the essay prompt, think about what type of essay you need to write. Is it a discussion essay, an opinion essay, a problem-solution essay? This will help you to understand what you need to do. Here's the essay prompt now. Let's read it together. You should spend about 40 minutes on this task. Write about the following topic. Many museums charge admission fees while others are free. Do the advantages of charging people to visit a museum outweigh the disadvantages? Give reasons for your answer and include any relevant examples from your own knowledge or experience. Write at least 250 words. Okay, great. Now that we've had a chance to read it, what type of essay is this? Yes, it's an advantages-disadvantages essay where we must talk about both sides and provide an opinion. The word outweigh in the essay question implies that you need to give an opinion. Do the advantages of charging people to visit a museum outweigh the disadvantages? Or in other words, do you think the advantages are more significant than the disadvantages? Analyzing the essay prompt can help you to get a high score in task response by understanding the question and answering it accordingly. Step 2. Know the E2 superstructure. When writing your essay, it's important to follow a structure that includes the appropriate number and types of paragraphs. Using the E2 superstructure can help you with this. The E2 superstructure follows a 4-paragraph structure, which includes an introduction, 2 body paragraphs, and a conclusion. In the introduction, your background sentence will help introduce the overall topic. Then, you'll reword the prompt by paraphrasing it in your own words. And finally, you'll give a thesis statement where you'll say what you'll write about and your position on the topic. Your position is what you consider to be advantages and disadvantages. For example, you might say something like, in this essay, I will outline what I consider to be the main advantages and so on. In the 2 body paragraphs, you'll need to cover your advantages and disadvantages. Remember to include at least 2 advantages in your first body paragraph and 2 disadvantages in your second body paragraph. And finally, in your conclusion, you'll write a broad statement about the topic and then summarize your arguments and opinions. The next part of knowing the E2 superstructure is how to write your body paragraphs. Let's take a look. In the body paragraphs, we use the acronym UPEPE to plan our paragraphs and develop our ideas fully. UPEPE paragraphs are double idea paragraphs. Let me show you what I mean. Here is a UPEPE structure in more detail. The U stands for umbrella sentence, P for point 1, which refers to our first advantage in our body paragraph 1, E stands for extend, which means that we write about reasons and/or examples. We don't just list the advantages. Point 2 refers to our second advantage. And finally, we extend upon our second point. The second body paragraph will also follow the same structure. In this essay, body paragraph 2 is all about the disadvantages. So point 1 is about the first disadvantage, and point 2 refers to the second disadvantage. Both of these points should be extended with examples, reasons, and/or explanations. Now that we know how our body paragraph should be organized, we're ready for our next step, planning our essay. Step 3 in our method is to plan. Here's what I planned using the UPE-PE structure. Notice how I extended each point with examples, reasons, and explanations. Planning your essay well is crucial because it ensures you have a logical organization of your ideas, helping you boost your score in coherence and cohesion. The final and fourth step of our method is to write the essay. Let's begin with our introduction by writing our background sentence. We can begin with this. A visit to a museum is undoubtedly one of the most fascinating ways to explore and discover history. This is a great way to introduce the topic of museums and their significance. For the next sentence, let's recall the prompt. Here it is again. Many museums charge admission fees while others are free. Do the advantages of charging people to visit a museum outweigh the disadvantages? And here is my version. Although charging an entry fee to access a museum is common, it is not always popular. Notice how I paraphrased admission fee as entry fee and used other vocabulary words to reword the prompt. Another thing to notice about my sentence is that it's a complex sentence. It begins with the word although, signaling a subordinate or dependent clause, followed by a main or independent clause. Sentences like this will help boost my score in grammatical range and accuracy. Here's my thesis statement. This essay will discuss the advantages and potential drawbacks of charging such a fee and show that it is necessary. Can you see how I implied my opinion in this thesis statement? The words show that it is necessary let the reader know that I will align more with the advantages. However, I'll still be outlining the disadvantages in my essay. Here's the introduction in full. Now it's time to write our body paragraphs using the UPE-PE structure. Our umbrella sentence at the beginning of our first body paragraph will let the reader know that we'll be discussing the advantages. There are several significant benefits to charging an entrance fee. This umbrella sentence has clear language and it sets us up nicely to write about the first advantage. Here's my first point. As the main aim of a museum is to promote the enjoyment and sharing of cultural heritage, artifacts must be carefully preserved so they are unaffected by conditions that could diminish their value. This sentence outlines how museums protect important cultural artifacts. Notice the strong sentence structure as well. Another strong feature of this sentence are the vocabulary and collocations used. Cultural heritage is a great collocation. Recall that a collocation is when two or more words that usually go together in the English language make a phrase. Do you notice any other strong vocabulary words? Yes, promote, enjoyment, carefully, preserved, unaffected, conditions, diminish, value are all great vocabulary words. Using collocations like these and strong vocabulary can help you to get a high score in lexical resource. Now let's look at how I extended upon my first advantage. This includes light, dust, and accidental damage. Equipment and the hiring of professionals to protect these valuable items would often not be possible without funding from the public. The two sentences are used here to show how money from museum fees could help protect artifacts. We're extending our ideas with examples and reasons. It also includes the main topic of this essay, public museum fees, but instead it's been paraphrased as funding from the public. Here is our second point or second advantage. Another point is that many museums do not have stable financial support. Another point is that introduces a new idea related to financial support, ensuring smooth transitions between arguments, which contributes to a high score in coherence and cohesion. This is an example of a cohesive device. Did you notice how every sentence in our body paragraph contributes to the overall main idea, the advantages of charging a museum fee? This means the message is easy to follow. Here's the next part. Let's read how I extended my second advantage. Those in the UK, for instance, faced funding cuts due to recent government policy changes. As a result, without admission fees, many institutions would struggle to survive. Here is our body paragraph 1, the advantages altogether. That was a great first body paragraph. We addressed the question in depth by extending on each of the advantages with well-supported ideas. Now let's get into body paragraph 2. Recall that body paragraph 2 follows the same UPE-PE structure. Here's our umbrella sentence. Admittedly, however, charging an entry fee may have some negative effects. Again, using clear language in the umbrella sentence allows the reader to understand what the paragraph will be about. In this case, the drawbacks or disadvantages of charging an admission fee. Here's our first disadvantage. From the visitor's perspective, such fees may deter them from visiting in the first place. This is also an example of a complex sentence, which is a great way to boost your score in grammatical range and accuracy. Look at how we extend upon our first point by giving an example. For example, if the cost were $20, families, low-income earners, and students might not be able to afford it. Here's point 2. Regarding the museum itself, this decline in visitor numbers could impact their ability to employ staff, host exhibitions, and in some cases may even result in closure. This point is showing how museum fees and less visitors will impact the actual museums through their ability to afford to pay staff, put on exhibitions, and could even result to closing down. Notice the collocation used here, host exhibitions. The verb host usually goes with a noun like exhibitions or events. And here's where we extend our second disadvantage. While such concerns are valid, most museums address this issue by keeping their prices low or offering discounts. This is the final sentence of our second body paragraph. Let's investigate it a bit further. Here, we are acknowledging the paragraph's argument, the disadvantages, when we say, while such concerns are valid. However, you'll notice that this part of the sentence gives depth to the argument. Most museums address this issue by keeping their prices low or offering discounts. Additional information is offered in this part. This also creates further cohesion as it will gently lead into the conclusion where we're about to give our opinion. And here's body paragraph 2, our disadvantages altogether. That was an excellent second body paragraph. Just like body paragraph 1, we extended upon our points with examples, reasons, and/or explanations. Let's move on to our final part of our essay, the conclusion. The conclusion only requires a couple of things. Let's begin with our broad statement. In conclusion, museums play an important role in our communities, which is why it is necessary to consider ways to keep them operating. Here, we'll summarize the arguments and our opinion. While admission fees may discourage some visitors, the benefits of such a cost, provided it is reasonable, far outweigh this concern. Thus, charging an admission fee is a crucial measure to ensure the preservation of cultural heritage and the survival of museums worldwide. The bolded part here summarizes the disadvantages, while admission fees may discourage some visitors. And here, we're summarizing the opinion and the advantages. Here is the conclusion altogether. And here is our complete essay. The final step of writing is checking your essay at the end. While checking and editing your writing, it's important to keep the criteria in mind. As you do your final checks, there are some things you want to look out for. Vocabulary and spelling, which refers to using a wide range of words and looking out for spelling errors. Grammar, which covers things like your tenses and sentence structure. The flow of your essay, referring to your paragraphing and if your ideas are ordered logically. And finally, responding to the prompt properly means that you've used relevant ideas and stayed on topic. And that's it. We just wrote a high-scoring IELTS Writing Task 2 essay together. Let me know in the comments or chat below what you'd like to see in the next IELTS lesson. If you're wanting more IELTS writing practice materials, methods videos, live classes, and personalized feedback, remember to head to e2language.com and sign up for an E2 IELTS test prep course. Keep practicing, and I'll see you next time.